I have been so excited to do this tutorial with you because number one, it's a little different than what we've done in the past. It's not involved. We're doing something minimalistic. It's going to be easy. No doubt you're going to have these materials on hand. You get a few simple tools. It's going to be great for gifts. It's a classic, very minimalistic, great looking earring that is one piece. There's no separate ear wire and then the dangle. It's all in one piece. You know what this is great for? This is a great project. This is what I do. I go through my scrap bin. It's still good wire. It's still got life, but it needs a project. This is fantastic. Making these earrings is fantastic for just using up scrap wire. And I know that if you're into beads, you're into wrapping with wire, no doubt you're going to have some 20 gauge wire. That's what we're using. You're going to have some basic tools. I know you probably have a chain nose plier. You don't even need my go-to step bail making pliers. You could just use a pen to make this ear part. So it's going to be totally doable, going to be great for gifts. Let's do it right now. So my dad got me a upgrade for our ruler that we're going to use today. He does watch my videos. He is the sweetest dad in the world. Does he want to make jewelry? No, but he wants to watch his daughter and he is super sweet. So he picked this up for me and I think it'll come in handy. Now, did I get rid of Old Smoky? No, I didn't. I still have Old Smoky and I choose to use this ruler a lot because it goes right to the edge and you can take your snips, your flush cutters, and I can't really do that with this, but it still is useful and it's going to come in handy today. Time to cut some wire to make our very first earring. Like I said before, we're using a 20 gauge wire. This is half hard. You can always use dead soft if you need to and just really give it a good hammer. Something else that I've been adding to my prepping of the wire as a result of that black stuff all over my hands debacle from a few videos ago, just to help remove any tarnish and just give it a little strengthening, even pre-strengthening before I show you. We'll do a little hammering in a little while. To do one of these earrings, you're going to want to cut, oh gosh, pressing the wrong thing, 3¼ inches, or just over 8 centimeters. And I'll just lay it right down on the ruler like that, and then turn my pliers so that I'm giving each end a flush cut. The other end is already flush cut. And it's also got a couple bends in it. We want to just work that out now. There's no point in working with that or trying to work around it. Go ahead and just clean it up before you even start. This is going to give you a better end result. It's going to more professional look, and you're just going to be more happy with it if you take care of any little problems that are already in the wire before you get started. Plus, that's work hardening it as well, and you do want your earring to be pretty steady, stable. All right, the next stage, we're going to make this ear hook part. Remember, this is all one piece. That's what makes this so great and using up your extra wire. Go ahead and place your piece of wire back down on your ruler, and we are leaving 1¾ inches on one side. That's what you need to make the ear hook. So essentially, the rest could be as long as you want, and just leave a ½ centimeter to make the little bend at the end. So keep that in mind. Leave 1¾ to make the ear hook part. You can make the dangle part as long as you want, and then just make sure you leave a ½ centimeter for basically our own handmade head pin. See what right there? I measured out 1¾ inch. This is where we're going to make our bend. Somewhere between 90 and 45 degrees, just like that. I'm using these replacement, they are called bail pliers, but you could use something as simple as a pen to make that wrap. You know, this needs to be accessible to everyone. I mean, not everyone has got these, but everyone usually will have a pen, and this, you could use that to do this. But if you happen to have these pliers, or you do have a pen, you're going to position it just like this. We're going to take this end here and wrap backwards, really kind of, wrap around this, the fifth step, which is 9 millimeters on these pliers. My old ones, the largest step was 9 millimeters, and I had to, actually this came in handy because I was able to use this to measure each of these steps, and it's different than the other pliers that had gotten broken. Now, let me bend that just a little bit more. You want to get it so that these two end pieces, these two pieces of wire, are parallel with each other, as best as you can get it. Plus, we're going to do some hammering, so it's going to shift a little bit. But that's what we're looking for so far. Here's where a little bit of hammering comes in. That's just going to add more strength to essentially your wire. The top part, I'll go along the whole length with the nylon side. Then I will use a chasing hammer just to flatten out this end. It kind of adds to that sleek, minimalistic look. That's totally optional. You don't have to do that, but I do like that. And see, it shifted out a little bit. Just want to pinch that down a little bit to get it more in line with the look that we're going for. All right, for these, let's see, I use 3 of the Delicas and then 4, well, in a line, 3 and then 4 of, I wish I knew more about these, what size they are. Lovely. 4 more, I use the little copper bead in there. That's 4 millimeters. And just repeated the pattern on the other end. So we're just going to do that today. I loved, and I still love, I always love a mix of copper with anything blue or teal. It just is so lovely because blue and orange, so lovely because blue and orange are opposite on the color wheel. So they just magnify each other's beauty. You can keep that in mind when you're doing, that one didn't fit, when you're doing your design. If you want a little more impact, use opposite colors on the color wheel. So that would be like yellow and purple contrast. I'm trying to think. Green and red. Yeah, blue and orange, yellow and purple. They all, I put one too many for this project. They contrast each other. They bring out each other's beauty. This is the thing I find so annoying with beads. Is that you can't see this stupid hole. And then they just, this is the only fiddly part. And you're going to have to figure out what your beads, what this length will accommodate with what you're trying to design. I worked on this design probably 4 or 5 times to get it so that the beads would fit. And of course, I've got these lovely copper beads that I picked up off of Amazon just to complement the copper. Oh my gosh, my eyes are like I'm getting ready to fling this across the room if this doesn't go on there. Oh my gosh, 2 in a row that didn't go on. There's got to be an easier way. Oh my gosh. This is my day so far. My goodness. Okay, I got 4 of those, and then I'm going to end with 3 more of these little lovely Delica beads. Maybe. This is agonizing. Oh my, help me, Lord, not just throw this across the room. Do you ever feel like that? That you just need to punch something. And all will be right in the world. Okay. Whew. Good grief. Okay. So cutting off 3 1/4 leaves us a little room to play with in case, you've got some issue with, your beads are not all exactly kind of the same size. The reason I said 3 1/4, because that's going to leave us just a little room to play with. You are going to want to leave on the end a 1/2 centimeter so that we can make this, the little handmade head pin on the end. Get your pliers so that you're going to leave a flush cut. I'm using my favorite little tweezer nose pliers, but you can use your flat nose pliers to do this as well. And this is going to be the front of the earring, so I will bend back so that I guess the end of the wire is going to be to the back of the earring, just to give a little more professional look and, you know, tuck away that end to the back of the earring. And you might have to give a little twist so it's all in line, creating that minimalistic look. It's such a great straight line. I know a lot of people don't like frills. They don't like a lot of beads, a lot of this and that, and they want something simple, but they want something that has a little eye catch to it, a little something sparkle, and I think this really fits the bill. And one little thing I will do, I have mentioned before this, I just picked this up at Marshall's. It's a manicure wand to do your nails with, and that's what I use for easy, quick sanding of the ends of wires. Can't get any easier than that. And there we have one earring. Let's do it again. I'm going to prep this wire just a little bit again with some steel wool. Just flung that across the table. And we are cutting 3 1/4 inches, or just over 8 centimeters here. And I'll just pinch that with my fingers, make sure I've got my pliers turned so that I'm going to get a flush cut. There we go. And like I mentioned before, don't go on and try to work with that. Now, if you're bending wires and you're doing all this squirrely stuff, it doesn't matter as much, but we want a clean look. We want it nice and straight. So this is really actually a critical part. I wanted to give you an update on, you know how a couple videos ago I had broken or given you the sad news that my bail pliers, my favorite bail pliers, fell on the floor and broke. Well, believe it or not, Beadsmith pliers have a lifetime warranty, and my lovely husband contacted Beadsmith, sent them a picture of the broken pliers, and they are sending me new pliers. So I am so happy about that. So if you're looking at some Beadsmith pliers, just know they have a lifetime warranty. I thought that was really great. I didn't know that until he found that out for me. Again, 1 1/2 inches. You just need, 1 3/4 inches you'll need for the ear hook. You can make this as long as you want, leaving a 1/2 centimeter for our handmade bend, or head pin. I like that. Using the 9mm bail. Just bend on around. It's a little hard to get it parallel that way, so what I like to do is just press this other one down, and so that they're nice and parallel, giving us that modern minimalistic look. I just love these. Hoping you do too. Hoping you're excited about this project. I try to make things so that most everybody can make them, and most everybody's going to have the tools and materials, and that you'll learn a little something too. You'll expand your skills. That's the goal here, and to have a little fun, be a little silly. I so enjoy being here with you, and I appreciate you being here. Thank you for commenting and subscribing. The channel is doing great. All thanks to you, my wonderful listening friends. I'm doing a little flattening on here. It's just going to encourage that little modern sleek look. Totally optional. if you don't happen to have a chasing hammer. But I would do some type of nylon just to strengthen it up. And we're just going to follow that same pattern again that we did on this. Oh, I didn't even move it over. It was in the shot. All right, moving through it. Maybe if I just pick them up. All right, a little better if I just pick it up. See, you learn by doing. I don't know why I didn't do that before, because that's what I did the first time I made it. I just picked them up. I don't know. I hope you are safe if you are watching in North Carolina or South Carolina. I know so much tragedy and loss in those areas, and just know that, you know, I and my family are thinking of you and praying for you. Such horrible tragedy. And from my understanding, there are more hurricanes on the way. So definitely have to be in prayer about that for their protection. All right, leaving, I'm going to flush cut the end of this, leaving, I know I'm placing it just any old where. Let me go down here so you know exactly what I'm doing. I'm leaving a 1/2 centimeter on the end here. This is so we can make our little handmade head pin. That's what makes these so easy. You don't have to, oh, I can't make them because I need head pins, all right? I can't make these because I need this kind of wire and this kind of wire, or I need these special tools. You don't need anything super special for these fantastic earrings. You got some 20 gauge wire, you got something to bend the wire around, you got some beads, some flush cutters, then you've got a great little pair of minimalistic earrings. This would be great for gifts, as I mentioned before. I mean, because they really take no time at all. I'll straighten that up just a little bit. And take my little handy dandy wand, give it a little sanding on the end so it's nice and smooth, so there's no sharp little bits. So it just slides in your ear hole a little better. And you feel that a little bit more on this side. Perfect. And that is all there is to it. See that, ladies and gents? Look at that, just wonderful. I love that minimalistic look. I don't know if you happen to see my bracelet that I had on. We made this last week in last week's video, and I'll put a link up here so you can watch that. So I'm hoping that you enjoyed this video, hoping you learned a little something new, and maybe you can get started on Christmas gifts. I think this is what's going to be perfect. You're going to be able to give a pair of earrings to all your friends, maybe your daughter-in-laws, and there's a lot of people getting married. Oh my goodness, so many weddings. So I know that families are getting a lot of daughter-in-laws. Maybe you like to give a pair to your mother-in-law. So thank you for being here, and I am already so stoked and ready to see you again this time next week.